Well, we are building up to England versus Pakistan in the final at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Yes, 1992 vibes all over again, minus the retro. I don't like the current jerseys. The 92 jerseys were much better.
The light green one?
The light green is next level. The England one was still okay-ish.
Actually, the England new one is better.
Ah, the England new one is better, yes.
Yeah, for that matter, they've been always good with playing colours and not playing with colours and all.
No, at one point England looked like Zimbabwe, please.
At one time they had that horrible blue and red which didn't really do anything.
Match, yeah.
But this is good. This is good.
But we still can't wrap our heads around the fact that...
Okay, I know what
went
down.
Harshit, I know...
You don't care about my mental health and I'm convinced about it.
I can't. Because see, as people... Like we say, crime reporters, they have to see crime every single day. They have to be steely-hearted, right?
Yeah.
For us, we have to be steely-hearted at horror shows.
To be fair, what we witnessed that day was a crime.
Was a crime.
It was a
Harshit is having mental issues because of what happened on November 10th at Adelaide. Shane is disappointed. I'm numb. Kunal, who joins us after a long time. Kunal, what was your first reaction for that? Whatever, I will not call it a loss, a thrashing.
You just feel that I was, when we actually lost the game, I think we lost the game in the first 6 overs itself.
Yeah.
The momentum came from the first over itself and, he got hit for 13 runs, Bhuvneshwar Kumar. But it's just, it's just disappointing and, as, someone who we all watched the game, it's disappointing the way you lose.
Yes.
At least you fight it out, you had runs on the board, you want to go, try to get wickets, have a plan. But I think the problem which we've discussed earlier, when you and me were on the show as well, we've just not been flexible enough in this World Cup to make those hard changes, play the right team for the right game. And I think that's why this loss has come, and it's not a loss, as you said, it's been a thrashing.
Okay, honestly, hearts on our sleeve. I never predicted Netherlands beating South Africa.
No one did.
No one did. But we knew that India were doing only some things right. Our team was not perfect heading into the T20 World Cup. Bumrah's injury, Jadeja's injury, that void was massive. But somehow the other players stepped up when it mattered at most. But do you think this 10-wicket loss or thrashing that we had in Adelaide, will it scar this current lot of players immensely? Do you see some massive changes being made, or do you think let's approach this with a calm head? What do you feel?
See, I think it's, they say it shook the tree, so something's going to happen and you expect some changes happening. I think, let's be honest, T20 is a young person's game. So and we have the biggest league in the world, IPL. If you have so many boys who are playing in the IPL doing well, it's either it's Ishan Kishan, there's Patidar, there's Rituraj Gaikwad.
Yes.
These boys need to get a go. You need to get in that youth. Give them that format. Alright, boys, you are the 30 group of T20 players. You are the only people who are going to play this game. That's it. We don't expect you to play ODI cricket. We don't expect you to play test match cricket for India. You are our T20 specialist. That's it.
Yeah, I largely agree with what Kunal said, but just that I would not agree with the 13 over, because I think it's that big pool only that caused us problems.
No, but see, you have that.
Yes, it's good to have that talent. I'm just saying we complicated things for ourselves, giving ourselves so many of these options that by the end of it, we didn't know what to do. We did something quote unquote called experiment all through the year, only to go back on all those experiments.
One of the teams, they also average age is only 30.
No, that's what I was going to come to. I said age I don't think matters as much, although it is important. Yes. It's important that you have some young players, but with England, actually their average age is higher than us. India's average age is around 30.4.
30.6.
30.6. England's is around a similar amount, and they're playing the final. One advantage they have is they're specialists.
That's what I'm saying. So see, by young I mean whoever's doing well in that IPL, the league you have. So obviously these boys are young. They're Ishan Kishan, everyone is 22, 23, 24,
25.
So you need to get these boys in, give them an opportunity. Go express yourself. And then I think there will be a major role, because we are missing, as you said, those specialists. A batsman who can bowl, a bowler who can bat.
Batsman who can bowl is a major thing, because if you look at England, they have 2 full-time bowlers. That's it.
Yeah.
And the 2 full-time bowlers are Chris Jordan, who can tongue the ball around a bit, and Adil Rashid, who has a county 100.
Yeah.
So it's not like he can't bat. They can bat, and rest everyone is either. There's so many all-rounders. Again, Moeen Ali didn't bowl an over.
Yeah.
And he's a top
I think
bowler.
all through the tournament he's bowled just 2 overs.
2 or 3 overs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now again, one of our family members has raised a thing. Okay, Kunal, honestly, an algebra test at school or predicting the Indian cricketing level before the T20 World Cup, what was harder for you?
I think picking the Indian team.
Yeah.
I know, because I said, give me a game of chess and analyze it. That'll be easier than predicting what will be the squad and the 11. Because somewhere down the line is too many options that we have seen. Even in 2021, we had too many options. 2022, we have too many options. Why do we have to go in with options? Because we know it only confounds us. What's the team management?
No, but
rationale?
what options? I can't understand. You call T20, Chahal your best T20 bowler. You don't play him in the entire tournament. You take Harshal Patel. He's a T20 specialist. Why is he coming to the side? Because he's done well in IPL. He's picked up wickets, purple, everything. Highest wicket taker.
And you were touted to be the death over specialist.
So then why are you taking the, it's surprising that you say they are T20 specialists and then again you don't play them. You are playing Ashwin, you are playing Dinesh Karthik, where we saw all the teams playing wrist spinners. We were the only team which was not flexible
didn't have
enough.
one wrist spinner in the 11.
We were not flexible enough to play that, take that risk, and I can't understand why.
I know. I mean, that's what Nikhil's tweet perfectly summed up the Indian team in the T20 World Cup. Not playing Yajuvendra Chahal will remain the greatest mystery of all
Two
time.
straight T20 World Cup.
2 straight.
One, you didn't.
take him only.
But he's getting
promotion.
promotion in the squad. The second time you named him in the squad. That's what I think the conversation we were having on dugout only the other day. If there's one player who's genuinely progressed in some way, it's Yuzvendra Chahal.
Didn't play at all.
Didn't play at
So he's getting
last
arithmetic
year wasn't even
progression.
drafted. This year he's in the draft or in the squad. Next year for sure. Next time
He'll get one
he'll
game.
definitely get a game
A
out.
dead rubber.
A dead rubber, yeah. No, but he's getting arithmetic progression. Didn't get picked, got picked, didn't play. He'll get picked, play one game.
So
2026 maybe he may play
for
another
all
one.
those romantics who believe in gradual progression,
That's that.
That's
I will add Harshal Patel also to the name. 2021 leading IPL wicket taker. Didn't get to play in the squad. And picked in 2022 on dodgy form, but was there in the squad, didn't do anything.
And also, you're talking about variety in roles. What's the one other thing aside from a wrist spinner that all teams who were in the semifinals had but us? An express pacer. Someone who can hit the deck hard, extract or make the use of a spin and bounce when you're not getting anything else. Who are the 3 Indian pacers you had, or 4 if you're counting Hardik? Bhuvi, Shami, Arshdeep. Arshdeep was supposed to be your designated death bowler, but got turned around so much in the death before that he became your power play bowler. And to be fair, that's the role he did well.
Yeah.
But he was supposed to be a death bowler.
But as funny as it may sound, there weren't circumstances except that Bangladesh game, I would say, where his death bowling ability was really tested.
No, Asia Cup.
Talking about this tournament.
He wasn't
Which
played.
is why this was a new role for Arshdeep, and I would say, to be fair to him, he rose to the occasion. I think he ended
he
up
did
with
really well.
No, he
10
did.
wickets.
Yeah,
So yeah.
He was your leading wicket taker for India in the ICC World T20.
But again, what was the thing? When there was no swing on offer, none of the bowlers could do anything.
The only over or the only time that the ball was swinging for India was the first over. And that we didn't have control over the swing. Let's be honest.
And that too also
Bhuvi
Butler took
business
13
lines.
runs off it.
Exactly.
But the funny part is just surprising that Butler, the first ball, second ball, and then suddenly Rishabh Pant decided to come up to the stumps.
Yes.
If he's swinging the ball, see, let's be very honest, he didn't bowl a good over. He
missed his lines. They were just too wide.
He bowled where Butler wanted. He's good. If you bowl 4th, 5th stump line, he can open his hands, hit you through. First over, he's at 13, momentum gone.
That's it. Yeah. Also, the ploy I remember which Pant did and even DK did of coming up front works well for someone like Aaron Finch, who's known to either shuffle and sometimes charge to negate the swing. Butler doesn't do either of that. His game is entirely around stand and hit. So, what was the point of coming forward?
Akash Bharadwaj saying India missing MSD badly.
I mean, I get where the sentiment comes from.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, and you're talking about white
But
ball.
Gautam Gambhir is also missing MSD.
MS
right now, I can
Dhoni was your team mentor in 2021.
say. 2020.
Yeah, but he wasn't playing, he was captaining. So.
Yeah.
But still, he was there in the
He
Indian
was
backroom staff.
See, again, the thing with these legends and the kind of impact that they've had is you can only have them for a certain time. And if you're in the system, you've got to be in the system, let's say in a full-time coaching role for there to be a lasting impact. These ad hoc mechanisms, I would say, I don't know. if this was to bear any fruit in any way.
I mean,
for
to
that
be
matter.
fair, I mean, Pakistan would disagree with you. Matty Hayden,
Hayden, Sean Tate as well, they've brought. But again, I think, and you're a Chelsea fan, as we all know. So it's that thing, with Pakistan, I think the parallels can be drawn to how Chelsea operate.
Yeah, they're unpredictable.
They're unpredictable, and two, with these regular changes, Chelsea
kind of
are
works
used to
for
it.
them.
That's how the system works, and they thrive on these frequent changes.
True.
So be it a Tuchel, be it a Potter coming in,
Even
these
before
frequent
that,
changes, they're okay with Chelsea. The classic case, you bring in a manager 4 months, 3 months into the job, he wins the Champions League, Roberto Di Matteo.
Yep.
After that, he's gone. So again, very result oriented. Very
And with Pakistan, that
result-oriented.
tends to work
It
very
doesn't
well.
work like that with
So
India.
this is where I will now change the focus and come to Pakistan.
Yes. Thank you
This
for that.
this team is on the cusp of doing something special. Okay, most of the players, unlike England, I mean all of the players, they don't play the IPL. They are shunned from tours by India. Tours even to the big three, say for England, South Africa and Australia.
It doesn't happen
It's
frequently.
very secondary or tertiary. Yet, from 2008 onwards till 2022, whenever the IPL has been there, Pakistan won in 2009, reached the semi-finals in 2010, 2012, 2021 as well, and now stand to become the second team to win two T20 World Cups if it happens on Sunday.
Correct.
Kunal, what do you think is, apart from the system which he said, unpredictable system, what do you think is working for Pakistan? Because India has all the clout. T20 league is the best in the world. You're producing a massive talent pool.
Lots of
But
money.
somehow Pakistan are going, lots of money also, Pakistan are going ahead.
Also, the question that we're asking, do you actually feel that Pakistan had the edge going into this final?
I think they are. England will be very wary of them. They are a very dangerous side, especially the way they've come into those semi-finals.
Yes.
How they won it. You were not even there. You were going for a game, thinking, it's one-off game and we are going back home. Suddenly, there's an upset. They said, all right, we win this. We are in the semi-final. It just lifts you up. There's self-belief in the team. And as you rightly mentioned, I think Matthew Hayden. And I was reading it somewhere where Matthew Hayden, I think it was the semi-final or the game.
Yes, the talk.
Where he just said, that
Babar is
you
doing
want
that.
to win in Australia.
And nobody wants to play you at the moment.
No, I think
backed Babar Azam.
it was about
Yes.
about he told the coaches, I think it was Saqlain Mushtaq and Mohammad Yusuf.
Yes.
And he said, you want to win the World Cup in Australia, you go play my way.
Of course.
Oh.
Yes.
Because see, the kind of cricket he played, that's what you saw in the last game from Pakistan.
Yeah.
And to be fair, a lot of everything seems
I think
to
he
be
brings
around.
a lot of that attitude, the
Attitude.
attitude. That's what matters
Look
a
what he
lot.
said about Babar. It turned out to be
Yes.
almost prophetic. He said he's due a big knock.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, he goes and gets a 50.
That's a 50, yes.
Yep. See, now again, Pakistan, their top order didn't fire until the last match of the Super 12s.
Yes.
Semi-final they turned up.
And the problem with them is, they tend to, as we said, thrive on unpredictability. Coming into the World Cup, what do we keep saying? Oh, they only have a top order. They only have a top two. They don't have top
Yeah.
two. Throughout the group stages, none of that top two performed. It was the non-existent middle order that steps up from out
It's
of nowhere.
actually interesting, the contest, it's a middle order that's performed well versus a middle order that's not gotten to bat.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or if it has, there's not been like a lot of runs. I think cumulative 60 runs or something that one of the batters.
England actually are the Pakistan of 2021.
Yeah, because they're very reliant on
yes.
their top two.
Yes.
That's it. So, in that way, I mean, and Pakistan also have one more advantage in that they have played at the MCG. They played a complete game.
The first game.
game.
England, DLS impacted. Ireland. They didn't play against Australia.
Don't forget they have a certain Haris Rauf also who's very used to playing it.
Very familiar. Plus, you have Shaheen in full tilt.
Yeah, that also makes them
The
more
last two
dangerous.
games for Shaheen have been good.
Yep.
He took 4 for 22 against Bangladesh. Again, looked threatening in that semi-final as well.
And
he's on song now.
See, but he came into the tournament injured. When
Yes.
you're coming back from an injury, it's going to take you a couple of, you say that match fitness,
Yes,
match
yes.
bowling you need. And you saw it in the third or the fourth game. He was bowling, when he got 4 wickets.
Yes.
You knew that day he was 100% fit. The way he was running in, the
But I
way,
think
everything.
That's the sign of a champion bowler, right? To
Yep.
bounce back from an injury.
Normally, I mean, when you've dealt with a lot of cricketers, upcoming cricketers, what does it take for them to get back into rhythm? Considering, okay, they have a major tournament coming up, what do they have to do to recover from an injury and then get back into rhythm? What is a drill, Kunal? Like you've seen so many budding cricketers coming.
See, now because of the support staff and the kind of technology and advancement there is, they'll get you fit and ready very quickly.
It's meticulous.
But I think it's more here. It's more mental. Yeah. When you come back, one is you bowl in the nets and you say, okay, my rhythm's up there. But that match time will only give you that confidence. That net bowling gives you confidence. I'm fit enough to play the match. But again, when you play 2-3 games, it gives you that match confidence and you say, okay, I'm ready to go. Come the important game, I'm going to win it for my country.
But Kunal, just if I could put you in the spot here, you mentioned a point about technology and advancement. Would you say that the BCCI somewhere miscalculated the whole Jasprit Bumrah injury? They were wrong in terms of assessing his injury and they probably rushed him in?
See, I think the way his action is, there's been a lot of talk about what's going to happen, and with him and in the years coming, with him aging and everything, the kind of action he has, those injuries are going to come. It's how the medical staff, look after him now, how the NCA looks after him, because he's very precious for you, especially in T20 cricket. But again, he's playing
perhaps in all formats.
Test match cricket as well, one-day cricket as well. Maybe you'll just see him going one way. Just saying, I'm only going to play white ball cricket. My body does not allow me to play test cricket anymore.
Would you be surprised if he ends up taking that call or not?
It could be possible. How frequently he's getting injured, he might just say, okay, for me 4 overs, 10 overs, I'm good. Yeah. But for me 25 overs in a test match, I think I'm not going to be ready for white ball cricket then.
I mean, to be fair, if you remember that, I think it was Chetan Sharma who had said during that one press conference where they announced 4 squads, and he did admit that we tried to rush him back because we were nervous about going into the World Cup without him. And then, ended up back.
But it's a funny statement, chairman and selectors saying, we were about the World Cup. That means you are actually saying there's no one good enough. There's no one good enough in the entire country who can represent India and win the World Cup for them.
And if you have to look at it, you didn't have support or faith in what your medical team was doing at the NCA, if you have to look at it. Because, see, this is not the first instance of any institution, the BCCI, botching up a player's injury. It's happened quite often in the past. It happened with Dridhiman Saha. It almost happened with Hardik Pandya. Happened with Jasprit Bumrah.
Hardik also took a while to get back to full power.
It did. And Jasprit Bumrah,
only if everyone had a fairy tale comeback of the sorts that he had. But alas, not everyone can.
But I think Hardik took his own time.
Yes.
He said, I'll only come when I'm ready.
Yeah.
And also,
2 years.
You're also talking about giving up formats. He pretty much no longer the test game of things, no?
Yeah.
Just doesn't play test cricket at all. So
just doesn't play test. But
and he won't. I don't think.
No, he won't.
No, not a chance.
He won't. Now, do you think, because have we somewhere miscalculated in workload management, if you have to look at it? Because see, you are wanting your players to play totally in the IPL every single match. Okay? Jasprit Bumrah is a classic case, 2021. 22 in fact, 22. Mumbai were knocked out after 8 straight losses. But he still played all the 14. Did we get our workload management and priorities wrong?
I was actually reading an article today or a statement by Sunny sir.
Okay.
Where he said, when it comes to IPL, there's no workload management. Why is it when you can play for the country? And I completely agree what he said. Is franchise cricket more important than playing for the country? I don't think so.
But Kunal, tell us this. How much of the onus, of course we can question the BCCI, we can question the IPL GC, how much of the onus lies on the players as well? We've seen a couple of English cricketers, put their foot down and say, national duties first, we're missing such so-and-so tournament. How much of the onus lies on the players?
I completely agree with you, it does lie on the player. If a Bumrah goes up and says to MI, alright, I'm only going to play 6 games this season, that's it, because I need to play for India. That's his call.
Which happened in 2019, by the way. It happened because you had to keep your bowlers fresh for the World Cup, which was going to happen in June, July. So it happened, but then again, look, whether was it followed to the hilt, we will never know.
But are we in a situation, because IPL in many ways is that untouchable property right now in world cricket. Let's just not from an Indian perspective, but world cricket as well. Let's not be dishonest over here. We know about what's at stake here, the platform, the money and everything. But having said that, are we looking at a scenario again where you will probably, as a youngster in the team, you're looking at, let's say, a Rohit Sharma or a Virat Kohli, your senior players, to perhaps take that call and lead by example by saying, okay, I only play so many games because I've got national duties to do?
I really don't see that happening.
How do you see? Just trying to envision the scenario, how does this happen then?
Because if this would have happened,
it would have happened
a long time back.
So you're saying it can't happen?
But see, IPL started. The BCCI started IPL wide, so it gives enough opportunity to players who don't get get unnoticed and never ever been seen anywhere. So when a person like Rohit or Virat or the big names in the team, it's their responsibility. In country first, franchise cricket afterwards. That's my thought process.
Who will bell the cat?
No,
yes.
That is the
Who will
problem.
bell the cat?
I mean, look at it this way, playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
If you're a player, knowing the kind of career span you have and everything,
Yeah.
would you go up to your franchise owner and say, look, I only want to play 6 games? A big businessman, would you want to get on their wrong side? Would you want, and more importantly, if star players are missing, do these big businessmen come to begin with? In India, sadly, whether or not we want to admit it, everything which is on TV is star driven.
Yeah.
What is the glamour of an IPL that you get to see a
of
Rohit
course,
Sharma
yes, it
captain
is
a Kyron
difficult
Pollard?
because as a cricketer, as a sports, or it holds true in every athlete's life, you've only got certain years to build a career.
But again,
not just a name for yourself, perhaps make money as well. It's not all passion and love, let's say.
No, of course.
Yes, you've got to plan life afterwards as well. So again, cricketers also are in a tough spot. But look at how things stand right now.
And also, there's a counter argument. So I remember reading this very nice article. It was on Mitchell Starc. It said that Mitchell Starc, the reason he has been deteriorating, one of the key reasons people are pointing out for his deterioration as a white ball bowler in recent times is that he's barely been playing any franchise cricket.
Yes.
He's only been focused on the national team, and that's great. It's good for Australia that they've had him available at all times. They have chosen when to rest him. But his bowling has deteriorated, and this year he looked a shadow of himself. And it's not down to fitness issues. He's been fit.
But I think Mitchell Starc's not been bowling well for a couple of seasons now.
Exactly, that's why it's been deteriorating. It's been
He's
on
had to
that
change
curve.
his action also slightly.
Maybe to injuries.
Yeah.
Injuries and all that. So I think it depends on case to case, player to player. That is the way how it is. So see, if priorities have to happen, it would have happened 5 to 6 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now it's not happening. Because now look at what is happening from 2023 onwards. Every franchisee league will now have a window.
Yeah.
So your international calendar gets squeezed up.
And you're actually looking at, let's not forget, a longer IPL now.
3 months.
There are more games now.
I'll add to that.
There are more games.
Most IPL owners are looking to expand into leagues beyond India.
Yes.
Look at the what do you call
CSA
T20, the SA20.
SA20 and ILT20.
ILT20, SA20. You're going to see investment in American
CPL.
leagues. CPL is already happening. You're going to see American leagues. KKR have invested.
But
in
I think
American
BCCI has already told that no Indian players will.
No, that doesn't matter. But I'm just saying.
But I just have a
As
feeling,
and when-
with that question being asked to Rahul Dravid as well after that crushing defeat, I think there will come a point we'll have to address this issue as well. Or
I think you're reaching there. Look at Umuk Chand. What did he do?
Yes, of course he's done that.
Domestic cricket.
Yeah.
No, but then again, see, the question was, should our Indian cricketers play in overseas leagues? It's not necessary that if you play in that particular league, you will get success and next
No,
time when
that's
they come.
not,
It's not a guarantee.
It's not.
It's not a guarantee.
Hales was a good player before he played BBL.
Yes.
Hales was England's first choice opener
like
in 2019.
in Unmukh's case, it made sense because
He was never getting a chance,
Everyone knew, he himself knew he's not going to get a chance. He's not going to get called up or anything. Yes, he had his fair bit of chances earlier in his career, but there was no. Yes, he moved to the US and I think he's hit a century there as well.
See, that 2012 Under-19 World Cup batch was the most unluckiest when it came to international representation. I think only two players have made their mark in international cricket from that 2012 batch. One was Hanuma Vihari, and the second was only in white ball cricket to a very limited extent, Sandeep Sharma. That's about
I would say more IPL than even white ball cricket.
Yeah.
He's an IPL certified legend.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's still a mystery of sorts how effective he is.
Apart from that, Smith Patel, then you had Ravikant Sharma, then you had Baba Indrajit, Vijay Zol.
Yeah.
None of them made an impact. Baba Aparajit, in fact, is making.
Saurabh Tiwari, what batch was he?
Saurabh Tiwari was a 2010 batch.
10?
Yes,
earlier.
He, Mayank Agrawal and KL Rahul. They are the 2010 batch. 8 was the star, golden star.
The golden generation.
Kohli, Jadeja, and even the New Zealand team. Kane Williamson, Tim Southee, Trent Bolt, Corey Anderson, James Neesham. Australia, I think, had Steve Smith. Steve Smith was in the 2008 batch. Wow. So now turning our focus back to Pakistan.
Yeah.
They are now clicking on all cylinders. But Kunal, do you think this mercurial temperament that they have is going to bite them back at the Melbourne cricket ground? Because you don't know which Pakistan will turn up.
Yeah, that's one thing which you always say, you know, how their day is, because on their bad day you'll say, oh, they shouldn't be in the finals, they shouldn't be playing the finals.
Exactly.
But on their good day, and I think they've got all their bases covered. You know, there was a problem with the opening batting. They've got runs. See, whatever they did in the league games, once you've got runs in the semi-finals, everyone's forgotten what they did before.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
they both got runs. Then the big surprise for me was and the good part of what Pakistan did, they were flexible enough to get Mohammad Haris in.
Mohammad Haris.
He's been a revolution.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think the one player, I think we will all agree on that. So will our family members watching us right now. The fact that Mohammad Haris has really turned things around.
Yeah.
And ironically, he will now be playing against the only team who actually knew anything about him before the World Cup. Because his debut was against England.
Yes.
How much will familiarity play a big role, Kunal?
Because
Look,
7 T20s.
7 T20s plus they played the warm-up
match.
Yeah.
So, when you're familiar with a team so much, 8 matches, I mean 7 official matches, 1 unofficial, does that help the team or does it help an opponent?
See, you know, it's actually with so much video analysis and everything happening these days, we say, oh, you know, you can see what the batsman's going to do, you know, what the bowler's going to do. At the end of the day, you still have to do it. You know, how much ever footage you watch as a bowler, that, but you still have to bowl that ball.
Yes.
If you're not bowling that ball, there's, you know, so these are all references, but obviously, you know, knowing each other's game, the pattern, the way they play, it's going to help bowl the team. That's why it's going to be a very interesting, game.
Yep, 1992 we saw Pakistan on the brink of elimination come back and then win that World Cup thanks to Imran Khan and Wasim Akram's magic spell. And that is why Samir Singh is asking us, although Pakistan is clicking on all cylinders, but they're also capable of blowing. Samir Singh, yes.
That's the thing.
That is what even Kunal said at this point in time.
Yeah, we have
don't know
no
which
idea.
Pakistan will
We have no idea which side of the bed they're getting out.
Exactly. But England, man, they, as you said, only 2 full-time bowlers. But even they too can bat.
Exactly.
They have batting till number 11. But yet, for all you know, it's not been a very easy ride for them in the T20 World Cup.
True, but you know, also you have to look at it this way. So, in the group stages, there wasn't really one batting unit that stood out as this thing. You know why? Because they were really good bowling conditions.
Yes.
None of the opening teams, opening pairs of any team really fired. None of, sometimes even the middle order was looking shaky. Why? Because you're not used to playing in conditions like this in Australia.
First time after a very long time
you're playing in like October, November. It doesn't happen. But with England, what you know is they have the quality and they have variety.
Yes.
Even without a Malan, you have someone like Phil Salt. He was ask Pakistan how destructive he can be. Harry Brook hasn't got a chance to show how good he's been, but against Pakistan, he was demolishing them left, right, center in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a lot of batting there, and that's the thing. If
I'm not mistaken, Phil Salt and Harry Brook did play in the Pakistan Super League also.
I believe, I'm not sure about that. I don't know about that, but
I think Phil Salt did play in the Pakistan.
Salt did. Remind you, you're speaking people who played PSL. Alex Hales.
BBL, Alex Hales.
BBL, PSL, he's done
Josh
very well in both
Butler.
leagues. Yes, Josh the boss as well. Correct?
But see, again, with the England batting lineup is the middle order hasn't gotten runs at all.
There's not been a single 50 that's come from
the middle order
batsmen.
As I said, they are the Pakistan of 2021.
No, but again, they are playing that template they've set out for. Doesn't matter if we keep losing wickets, keep going after the bowling.
Actually, the India game would have been a perfect time for any of them to try and get this thing because the bowling looked ineffective, but none of the other batsmen got out. The openers are like, no, we're enjoying this.
I think, from Hales and Butler's perspective, they were smacking the ball all around. They didn't care really. I think they cared for the middle order. They wanted to give their middle order a chance. And they took their chances. But they were clearing the boundaries.
Akash Bharadwaj, sir, will split captaincy work in India. Hardik as T20 captain. But again, we are from that MS Dhoni school.
But I think you want to see that happen very soon.
I hope.
No, it's going to happen. I think we all know it, and we've been hearing those things like the New Zealand series. Now Hardik's the T20 captain.
Yes.
So I think going forward for T20 cricket, I think he's going to.
So are we also looking at a scenario wherein you'll have, let's say, a T20 core group, an ODI core group
Yes.
and let's say a test core group as well?
Well, every team.
Well, you'll have to do it at some point.
I think for T20 cricket, you need to have
T20
a
ODI,
different.
there can be some overlaps.
I think Test match and ODI can remain the same because it's a longer format. 50 over Test match cricket. I think for T20, you should have that split group. Then say, hello, you're only playing T20 cricket for India.
To be fair, if you combine white ball, could work. Look at England. They play T20s like they ODIs like T20s.
Yeah.
They only know one way.
They play tests like ODIs.
But to be fair, baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Yeah, Brendan McCullum.
Yeah.
Who you so like to pan like KL Rahul.
No, I love panning him. He was useless at KKR. I don't care. I will pan him.
So, if we have to look at the verdict, okay, who holds the edge in the T20 World Cup final? Kunal, we'll begin with you. Looking at whatever we have discussed about Pakistan's bowling, England's depth, who do you think holds that edge in the T20 World Cup final on Sunday?
I think England still do. I'll go
51-49.
Yeah,
maybe?
51-49 at the moment.
49
All right.
in favor of England.
In favor of England.
What about you, Harshit?
I think I should be the last one to answer that. I'm still trying to gather my thoughts.
I have been saying, I have already said from the beginning of the tournament that England, one of the strongest teams, still going with England, despite Pakistan doing their best to make this like a 1992 vibes repeat. Still going England.
Yep. Now you.
I think 51-49 to England again. An amalgamation of what the two gentlemen said. Yes, England have looked like challengers from day one, look like a more complete unit. But Pakistan being Pakistan,
You can never
you don't
be-
know
can
which
never write
Pakistan
them off.
turns up, which is why it's a 51-49.
For me, I'll reduce that odds a bit further, 50.1 to 49.9. but in favor of Pakistan.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Because as you said, Pakistan, what will they do on that day? We don't know.
Exactly.
And remember, it's not necessary that having a very, very inferior head-to-head record doesn't
Means
mean that,
much.
you
No,
are
no,
underdogs in the final.
A final is a one-off. A knockout's always a bit
See,
for your treat. Just a little bit.
I truly believe, again, we talked about the series that was played, familiarity. I think those things sort of get shifted to the back burner when you come to a contest.
knockout.
At this stage of the tournament.
And-
these numbers, who wins the toss, what happened
The
first,
same
these don't
England
matter.
bowling, the same England bowling was taken for 203 runs by Babar
and Rizwan.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
One of the matches in Karachi.
They won by 10 wickets.
wickets.
Yes,
So that's discounting, that's history now. But then again, look,
And you played in Pakistan.
yeah, Pakistan, I don't know what is in their DNA. They suddenly decide to play some
I think
inspirational
that's been their
cricket.
identity in world cricket.
Yeah.
And they're okay.
They're okay with
See,
it.
I'd be okay with it as well if I were
If
in
you had
Pakistan.
success.
Exactly.
See, now
I've been challenging in all T20 in not just T20 formats
In tournaments
in
like
tournaments and ICC tournaments consistently. I'm making to the finals.
6 semi-finals and 3 finals.
Look at it this way with Pakistan, I always say sometimes they might not know how they get to the group stage or out of the group stage. But once they reach the knockouts, they're like, "Acha, we know what to do."
and on top
Then
of
the
that-
roadmap is clear.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I end up handling a 10-wicket defeat as well at times to my bitterest rivals.
See, there are three words which is going very viral when it comes to Pakistan. Kudrat ka nizam.
Kudrat ka nizam.
Kudrat ka nizam ensured that Netherlands beats South Africa.
Which
I
none
think
of us
that was
predicted.
one event or one result which none of us predict.
No one will.
Nobody
Even
could
in my
have.
wildest dreams, I didn't predict. I said Netherlands will have to beat South Africa for Pakistan to qualify. That's about it. But I didn't say Netherlands will beat them. There is a difference. So,
That will be the other unresolved mystery of this World Cup.
no, South Africa.
They should take the Netherlands team out for a meal after the World Cup Pakistan.
Give them all
See, Netherlands, they gave out a tweet for the UAE citizens. Like,
Yeah.
you are given lifelong free Schengen entry visa. Because UAE defeated Namibia. That is why Netherlands could make it.
Yes.
If that happens for Pakistan, then maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
Pakistan and Holland relations will go to a next level altogether.
suddenly improve.
Yeah, I mean, they'll say we have got a European presence in Pakistan or something in that way. And Holland, the Oranje, their World Cup is also coming up, right?
Yeah.
So already they have set the Cricket World Cup on fire. Thanks to unintentionally. So 50.1 to 49.9, I'm saying Pakistan.
But even that is marginal.
Because England are.
Because you really don't know with Pakistan will turn
No,
up.
and even England have been consistent in white ball cricket now ever since 2015. If you have to look at that, ever since that reset happened.
Since the revamp.
Yeah,
Yes.
16 World T20 final, lost. 17 semi-final, lost. to Pakistan,
Yes.
semi-final. 19, you won the World Cup, but your one loss was to Pakistan and Australia. You lost those 2 games there also.
See, but 51% if Mark Wood is fit.
Well, Joss Butler in the PC has said we will take a call on the availability.
Doesn't seem like
Because that's a major.
Yeah,
Major hit.
Jordan was not.
Because see, all of them are very similar.
Yeah.
135, 130. If you're bowling 155, one bowling 155, that's a massive difference.
Massive advantage.
If there's a 20-kilometer difference,
in
that's
this
massive.
tournament, he's done that more than 30 times or something.
Yeah, 31 times.
31 times he's bowled.
Mark
150.
Wood in that match against Afghanistan did not go below 140 in all his 24 balls. Sustained aggression and hostility.
And if you want a look of how he can change a game, it doesn't even have to be with wickets. Match against New Zealand.
Yeah.
New Zealand was still very much in it. What does Joss do? He throws the ball to Mark Wood. The New Zealand batsman could not touch because they were used to the other players who were getting it just slightly so. They couldn't touch. And then that over changed the game. You put on the squeeze, New Zealand was
It's from 135 to 155.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it was not it's not that easy, that much of a
No,
difference.
and the best part about Mark Wood is he's quick, but he's very accurate.
He will always be hitting that same hard area. So it's like you can try and hit me, but you're taking a risk.
You're taking a risk.
And Melbourne, the wicket is expected to assist seam, pace, and bounce.
Exactly.
Like what we saw in the game against India, Pakistan.
Yeah, you remember
the first
that
game.
how much even except for those last 2 balls, Haris Rauf.
Haris
He was troubling every Indian batsman. Hardik Pandya couldn't touch. Again, 150 odd, 150
And since
odd.
we did speak of Melbourne, quick word on the weather.
Oh yes, there is a massive issue heading into the Melbourne cricket ground. Although in the build-up it's been sunny and a bit cloudy, but
Let's see tomorrow now.
on the final and even on the reserve day,
Both days
rain
rain is
predicted.
forecast.
And that too severe thunderstorm warnings.
Yes.
But similar doomsday predictions were made for the India-Pakistan match.
And that went off
Luckily,
fine
the
also.
rain stayed away for that. We hope it stays away. And remember, for a game to be considered as a full match, the second innings has to consist of 10 overs.
At least.
At least.
Yes.
There is a reserve day. It will resume. Supposing England win the toss and they have batted 15 overs, but rain doesn't allow you further play. On the second
The
day,
game
it
moves
will
into a
resume
reserve
from
day.
15.1. And 2 hours extra will be given on the reserve day so that overs will be lost. On the finals day, it will only be half an hour.
30 minutes, yeah?
30 minutes, yes. 30 minutes of play, and that's about it. Apart from that, reserve day also, if the second
Nothing
innings
happens.
does not yield 10 overs, both teams will share the
Then
trophy.
there will be 3 teams that
On
would have
2
won.
They already
that
are
would
there.
have won.
He needed only the West Indies cut out here.
You only had to had Darren Sammy here.
Only Darren Sammy here. Oh man, but unfortunately,
I can imagine it now.
yeah, could happen.
Dude, 80%, I think 80%?
80%
on the final day.
on Sunday
And
tomorrow,
90% on Monday.
So it is very much a plausible thing to happen.
But okay, apart from the final, which could produce a classic match, Kunal, for you, the best memory so far of the T20 World Cup 2022? I know what all our 3 choices are, but yours, the best moment.
I think we all.
See, we all will say India, Pakistan.
No, we'll share the worst memory anyway. So let's just talk about the best.
best memory. You can be different.
It's not a memory. I think I've just.
Best moment.
I can't say a moment, but I'm just happy the way the minnows have played. All the sides.
Yes.
You know, whether it's. I think Ireland was the best fielding side in the comp.
Yeah,
if you ask me, the way they fielded, and I think all teams, Netherlands, Ireland, Zimbabwe, the way they played, it's just giving, it gives ICC that confidence of adding 2 more teams
Yes.
and adding more teams into the next World Cup, because if these countries are competing against India, South Africa, beating South Africa, then you've got that confidence that it's not going to be one-sided.
Yes.
Yep.
Actually, if you're talking favorite memories, mine actually also consists of Ireland. Josh Little's hat trick.
Oh, yes.
yes.
Against New
Wonderful
Zealand.
spell
Yes.
of bowling.
Yep.
Wonderful
Yep.
spell of bowling.
Yep. For me, see, it's Virat Kohli's 82, which he ranked as one of the greatest in
That is his greatest
history.
Yes.
But for me, the best moment was Zimbabwe beating Pakistan by 1 run.
The Mr. Bean derby.
The Mr. Bean derby, because that threw Group 2 wide open.
Yes.
And because I blame Zimbabwe for one thing, they kept the group open. But they themselves shut it close when they lost by 3 runs to Bangladesh. And the Bangladesh stumping. Oh man, what a comedy of errors that was.
Najmal, no?
Huh?
Who's the keeper? Najmal is the keeper, no?
Najmal Hussain.
Shanto.
Yes. He did a Rishabh Pant. Blasphemy alert, sorry, but yes. Pant did that in Rajkot and everybody shouted Dhoni, Dhoni, Dhoni. It wrecked his confidence even further. So that is my one favorite moment where Craig Evans,
Craig Owen.
No, not Craig Owen. Brad Evans. Brad Evans bowled the last over. Shaheen just couldn't get past Raza.
Yeah.
The throw came. Chatara fumbled.
Yes, he fumbled.
So that he affected the rout and Pakistan were on the brink.
Yeah.
So that is my favorite moment apart from that Kohli masterclass.
I think two images that will stay with me forever from this World Cup. Again, they go back to the India-Pakistan game. I think Rohit Sharma, how emotional he got during the anthem.
Yes.
And again, a similar emotion that we saw, Virat Kohli experience with his hand up in the air after India won the match.
Yeah.
I think those images will be my favorite and will stick with me forever.
When we're talking minnows, this thing again. Pome Mbangwa's commentary when Zimbabwe got that upset.
Yes.
My God, it ranks up there with Carlos Brathwaite, remember the name.
Or I will say Ian Smith's commentary in the final
Ian
of
Smith's
2018.
commentary,
yes.
Yeah, by the barest of margins.
barest of margins.
Yeah, and by the way, for a New Zealand fan, today the Black Ferns have achieved history.
Yes.
6-time World Cup
Yes.
winners in rugby. Congratulations to them. Trailing behind 17-26, they won 34-31 against England. A repeat of
It's a sign.
2021. And England's sporting miseries continue.
It's probably the cricket team that can make up for what happened today. If at all things don't go their way, but then they have the FIFA World Cup to look forward to.
Oh yes.
Where things definitely won't go there. Right?
Yeah.
So again, as
So we
England
have-
fans as well, you know there's a better chance of winning tomorrow, given how history is panned out.
Yes, so in 19 hours time, we will see India versus Pakistan final? Nah.
No.
Alternate parallel universe. It'll be Pakistan versus England in the final at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Repeat of 1992. Thank you so much, Kunal, for giving us all your time and with your insights. It has been awesome. And hopefully we will see him in the final also here.
Sure.
Yes, we can. And we'll join you tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. IST for all the updates.
Yes, we'll be building up the mega final for you.
Hope no rain. Please, no rain.
Yes.
Melbourne already has had 3 abandoned games without a single
let's
ball
not make
goal.
it 4.
Let's not make it 4, please. So 12:30 tomorrow, Pakistan versus England. 1992 repeat. Will it be for Pakistan or will England change that script? So
join us and
from
we'll
me,
discuss everything.
Shane and Harshit and Kunal.
Join us and we'll discuss everything.
Yeah.
So from me, Shane, Harshit and Kunal, it's bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. We are also on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thank you. Good evening. Shabba khair.
Bye-bye.
Vanakkam.